Hey everyone, Edison Laws here. So I have no idea what happened. I mean, I kind of do, but I don't. OBS just completely fucked up this file. I've done some Googling. I think it's something to do with the way that OBS writes video files to your computer. So I think I might have the solution. Um, Anything to do with like the technical like settings in OBS is generally like a bit over my head. So I mean I think I've got it fixed, but that's not going to help me now. This video was like an hour and 40 minutes long, so you'll be able to see, well, you won't now because this has made it longer, but the actual file that I got off OBS was only an hour and 2 minutes long, so there's, you know, like a solid 40 minutes missing from this video. And of course this is the last part of Turnabout Samurai, so we've completely missed the ending because it was the end that it cut off, which is really disappointing. And even up until then, most of the video is like, you know, it's like, it's frozen, like it keeps freezing. So it's not great, because there's really no visual of the game. It's just me talking with some really horrible like frozen pictures, which was also what happened in the last video, where I also discovered it cut out the last 12 minutes, and I didn't discover that until last night, as I'm recording this, so that was really annoying. My arm's getting sore holding this damn phone. Oh god, now my finger's covering the camera. Oh Jesus. I'm a proper, I have a degree in how to make film. Anyway, my point is, while I'm rambling, is that this video is completely fucked. I really apologize. I'm so sorry that you have to put up with it. I did consider just not uploading it in the slightest and just jumping to the next part, but I figured, you know what, I spent an hour and 40 minutes recording it and I've got an hour and 2 minutes. So like I got more saved than didn't save. So I think it's probably still worth uploading because you can still hear me and I'm reading out the entire script, you know what I mean? So you know what's happening in the game because I'm reading it as I'm playing. So I think it's still worth uploading, but I appreciate that it looks really bad, that it's cut out the entire end of the case, which is really disappointing for anyone who, if you haven't played Ace Attorney, it's obviously going to be a bit of a disappointment that you can't see the end. I think most people who are watching this have played before, so probably already know how it ends, but if you don't, I am really sorry that that has been missing. I am going to try, with what I managed to get troubleshooting on the OBS support website, I think I know where the problem arose, and I think it'll be fixed for the next one. But yeah, it's really annoying. I was genuinely in such a downer last night. Like I went into proper depresso espresso over this because I was just so disappointed because I've been having so much fun recording this series. So like to have such a big chunk of what I did just lost is obviously a huge disappointment. But I've decided what I'm gonna do is I'll put in this wee bit at the beginning, and apologise to you all for the next hour of your life that is going to be a bit of suffer, and then I'll come back at the end of the video and I'll explain what happened from where the footage cut, and I'll tell you about the rest of the case. So if you don't know what happens in the rest of the case, if you don't play Ace Attorney, I will fill you all in so we're up to speed for the next part, which I haven't recorded yet, but I'm hoping will work and I won't need to make another one of these intros for the next one. But thank you for bearing with me. I know my channel is quite bad for technical issues. Everything I make is cursed. But yeah, thanks for bearing with me, and I'll catch you at the end of the video with the next part of my explanation. See you then. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to another video, and welcome back to more Ace Attorney. Do you want to know what part of me hurts today? Since pretty much every video I've done in this series I've had some kind of ailment. Today my back is killing me. I was out cutting the grass the other day. In fairness, it hasn't been cut for ages because it was either a day that I was free and it was torrential rain, or it was a day when I was working and the sun was out, so it hasn't been cut in a while. And it was just unbearable, and the lawnmower kept getting stuck because my garden is not very flat, it's really uneven, so it kept getting like caught in all the like hills, and I was trying to shove it, and at one point like my whole back just like was just the pain radiating, and I like was like and now every time I try and like pick something up or like reach down for any reason, I'm like so I'm in agony. I've got 2 pillows behind me trying to keep my back in a position that doesn't ache. So but anyway, I'm gonna spend my day playing Ace Attorney and try and cheer myself up. I don't know if you can see it, I'm really hoping you can. The stupid Real Player decided it wanted to update and it's stuck in the background. I think my face is covering it, but like it just is moving at a glacial pace. So it's just like chugging away in the background. I'm like, can you honestly just fuck off? Hurry up and update. Anyway, I don't think you can see it. You shouldn't be able to see it. But anyway, we'll get on. We are at the... What day are we on? I don't know. We've done 4 parts of Turnabout Samurai, and we just found out that... What did we find out? What did we find out? What did we find out? That the Steel Samurai was the victim, but I still haven't quite figured out how that works. So, let's see if we find out. October 19th, 3:27 PM, Wright and Cole offices. That was a close one, huh, Mia? Really? Too bad, I'm sorry I missed it. Maya! So what happened? Well, I think I've got a pretty good idea who did it. Now all I need is a motive. And proof. Wow, good going, Nick. Under the initial trial system, tomorrow is the last day we have. Initial trial? What's that? That's the new court system they introduced 2 or 3 years ago. They had so many cases in the system, they decided to speed the whole process up. So under that system, trials have to end in 3 days? Yeah, pretty much. Does anyone know if that's a real thing? Oh my god, what is that noise? Oh, it's a dog barking. Oh my god, it sounded like someone was being murdered. I was like, what the hell? Like, anyway, oh, the Real Player's suddenly speeding up. Whatever ground it to a halt, it's moving again. Yeah, does anyone know if that initial trial thing is real? Because, like, I realise this game is 20 years old, but I actually don't know the answer to that question. We've no time to waste. I don't get it, Maya. Why would Mr. Hammer steal the Steel Samurai costume? What? You mean Mr. Hammer was wearing the costume? Yeah. But Mr. Hammer was the victim, Nick. Why would he go through the trouble of stealing it? Oh, that's where we were at. Yeah, we found out that he was... Jack Hammer... I'm yelling. Jack Hammer was wearing the Steel Samurai costume, and he was at Studio 2. Which meant that somebody at Studio 2 murdered him. That's where we got to. Why would he go through the trouble of stealing it? That's what we have to find out. What happened with the director's testimony? Well, it's pretty clear that the producer and the director were both in the trailer. Huh. Which means that the killer has to be one of them. Really? Why? Because the real scene of the crime was Studio 2, where that trailer is. What? Was Maya always this excitable? I feel really bad. I kind of assumed Maya could still hear and see what was going on when Mia was, like, in control of her body, but no, apparently Maya just doesn't get to be party to anything that's happening. Any ideas? Well, have you noticed anything that might help us? I can't see what's going on when Mia's here, so no, I haven't noticed anything. Right. Maybe we should go talk to WP. WP Powers, right. Someone let that poor dog back in his house. It's actually howling the place down. Did we get any evidence I can show her that's, like, useful? I was never sure of the camera. This is Cody's... Hey, a digital camera! I'm impressed. A kid like him would have something.
That's expensive. Kids these days. I don't imagine spirit mediums in training get a lot of toys. Yeah, because you didn't get to see these. What do you think about this? It's that fanboy's prized possession. Wow, impressive. It's a little different from the Steel Samurai on TV. These are mostly taken at PR shows that they do. Those PR shows they do at stores and fairs. I'm pretty sure it's not even Will Powers inside that suit. No true fan would be satisfied with anything less than the real thing. He's still a child, I suppose. I guess it takes an adult to appreciate the real deal, right, Nick? Yeah, whatever you say. I've got the thing at the right level, so I don't know why it sounds so fucking loud. Right. Move. October 19th, Detention Center, Visitor's Room. Mr. Wright, you did very well again today, thank you. Oh, thanks. Could you not look like you're about to burst into tears? Wow, Nick, you must have really wowed them in there. You could stop looking so vulnerable too. Hey WP, only one day left. Let's make it count. Yes, though there's not really anything I can do to help. Ha ha ha, I'm not really sure what I can do either. Please, this is no laughing matter. Could you tell me more about Miss Vasquez? Oh, the producer? She's well respected in the industry. They say she's a genius. A genius? She's been at Global Studios for 5 years now. Right or wrong, nobody dares tell her different these days. Why is that? Ever since she came on board, we've had nothing but hits. Global Studios was on its knees, but she picked it up and made it shine. Oh, and what? Nothing. Forget it. I've only heard rumors anyhow. Can you tell me anything about Mr. Manella? Oh, he used to be a minor straight-to-video director, but something in his work caught Vasquez's eye. She brought the Steel Samurai idea to him. Now everyone knows the name Salmonella. I hear he's pretty much at her beck and call, though. Whenever she says jump, he asks how high and all that. I can imagine him being her beck and call. Though I can't imagine him jumping. I was wondering about Mr. Hammer. He was a big star back in the day, right? But then he just dropped off the face of the earth. Oh, yeah, you're right. In fact, he was my role model when I started in this business. But he just stopped taking on big roles. That's when he began appearing in little productions at Global. How can he do that? I was really looking forward to a sequel to Samurai Summer. He just gave up being a star 5 years ago. Actually, now that I think about it, that was right when Miss Vasquez came to Global. 5 years ago? Wonder if I can show him that photo book and he can tell us if it's him in the suit. Have you seen this, Mr. Powers? What's that? I've never seen these Steel Samurais in my life. These are the Steel Samurais that appear at live shows. A fanboy collected all these pictures himself. Seeing things like this really makes me think. I mean so much to these kids, you know? Aww. Excuse me, thank you for showing me that, whatever it is. I wish I could think of some way for me to help you. Sorry. Nothing. I wanted to see if he said anything about the monkey head. Okay, I think I asked him about everything else before, so... Do we want to go back to the studio? Oh, great. October 19th, Global Studios main gate. The old windbag sure is quiet today. You know, this place is really peaceful like this. Nick? I think our guard's down. Yeah? I bet we could even eat those donuts in the guard station if we wanted. You eat, you die. Phew, she's alive! I was wondering about Dee Vasquez, the producer. Oh, the studio bigwigs love her, so she always gets her way. She seems better. Do you not like the producer? Look, the studio people don't want me talking about her, so sorry. Can I ask you about Salmonella, the director? Sal? He's soft, a pushover, does whatever Vasquez tells him to. She treats him like dirt, but I think he likes it. Huh? Why would anyone like being treated like dirt? That doesn't make any sense, does it, Nick? No it doesn't, Maya. Oh, Maya. Dear sweet Maya. About Mr. Hammer. Ah! I heard about what you said today. What's going on with my background right now? Oh, it's putting my real player icons back in, that's what it is. All my icons started moving. I heard what you said today, cheeky whippersnapper. Poor old Hammer. You drag his star down from the sky and stomp on it. Calling him a criminal, a thief. I won't forget this. Uh-oh, she's really pissed this time. You listen to me, whippersnapper. My poor old Hammer would never do such a thing. Why would he steal Power's costume so he could sneak by me? He would never stoop so low, it's impossible. Alright, well, let's see if I can close this. There we go. Oh god, stop trying to open. Okay. So where do we want to go? The employee area or Studio 1? I'm gonna go to the employee area. October 19th, Global Studios employee area. I guess they're not filming today either. Oh my goodness. Get away. Real Media Auto Conversion feature is discontinued from this version of Real Player. Real Player will continue to support playback of Real Media HD videos in your library. Wonderful. Don't know what that means, but thanks for letting me know. Oh my god, will you fuck off? Oh look, it's got a whole new jazzy design and everything. That's lovely. Oh my god, will you fuck off? I'm trying to record. Get out my face! Oh my god. Hold on until I pause it until I get this off my screen. Okay, fix it. Got it off my screen. Okay, I just want to see them filming, just one time. This trial will be over and done by tomorrow. You can come see them film later. I guess. This is where you found that bottle of sleeping pills, right? Uh-huh. I wonder if there's any other clues lying around. Yeah. No touching. Eek. Oh, so sorry, pal. Didn't mean to frighten you. Didn't mean... I almost had a heart attack. Heh. I guess I can be a little dramatic at times. Dramatique? I suppose it's the actor in me. Dramatique indeed. Ahem. Anyway, I'm here to examine the plate on that table. Wait, are you looking for sleeping pills? Yeah, pal. Traces thereof. Alright. Talk about them. So you're looking for traces of the sleeping pills. How? For a thorough examination, I gotta take the plate back to the precinct. But I have the capabilities to make a cursory examination right here. Our science guy gave me some testing solution. This reacts to sleeping pills, see? If there are traces, it'll change colour. Wow, neat! Well, Detective Gumshoe, what are you waiting for? Now, everything in due time, pal. Well, the testing solution on the plate changed colour, alright. So there were sleeping pills in the plate. Looks like it. Steak plate added to the court record. Investigation. How goes your investigation? To tell the truth, it's a real mess, pal. Some people think we should pursue the case we already have against Powers, and some people think we should switch suspects. What do you think, Detective Gumshoe? Well, pal, I hate to admit it, but I'm not sure I buy the case against Mr. Powers anymore. I feel kinda bad for Mr. Edgeworth, though. How is Edgeworth doing anyway? Edgeworth is out of control. He was in the waiting room and he crushed this paper cup with hot coffee in it. Whoa. Talk about burns, pal. Wow, the fury of Edgeworth. Yeah, crushing paper cups. Cups. Bottles? Say, whatever happened with that empty bottle? Oh, the bottle of sleeping pills? Well, I got some good news for you about that. They found the victim Jack Hammer's prints on the bottle. So that means... Yep, it sounds like the one who put Powers to sleep was none other than the victim. So I was right. Sleeping pill bottle added to the court record. Alrighty. Hey, it's Penny. Oh, hello. What are you doing here? Oh, I was just cleaning up the dressing room. I guess WP won't be using it anymore, so... What? What? Why? But WP's innocent. Yeah, and I'm really grateful for all you've done. But this week is the last episode of the Seal Samurai. What? No! I was wondering if I could ask you about Mr. Hammer. Yes? On the day of the murder, he went to Studio 2. Huh? I thought he went to Studio 1. He stole the Steel Samurai costume too. What? Why would Mr. Hammer do something like that? Oh, I guess the rumor must be true then. Oh, the neighbor's cat is back. Oh, look at her, she's so graceful. Oh, she's so cute. I love my neighbor's cat. The rumor? Yeah, Miss Vasquez, that producer, had some kind of hold on Hammer. She had some dirt on him. He'd do anything she said, apparently. Some dirt? What dirt? Dirt. You know, bad stuff. I know what dirt means. About 5 years ago, they were filming a movie starring Mr. Hammer. They were using the new studio, Studio 2. Some sort of accident happened during filming. After that, they never used Studio 2 again. They left the film set the way it was, too. The film set? Was that trailer part of the set then? Oh, she's just sitting out there on the fence looking all pretty. Aw. Kitty. What do you mean the last Steel Samurai? I know it's a shock, but nothing can be done to save it now. Whoever really did kill Mr. Hammer also signed the Steel Samurai's death warrant. No, no! Also, I hear that Global Studios is going to change its programming. They're not going to make kids shows anymore. What? Why? I don't know. It's sad, but that's what Global Studios decided. Why aren't they going to make kids shows anymore? She just said she didn't know. The studio bigwigs don't want the Steel Samurai around anymore. They want to forget all this ever happened. They want it quiet, you understand? How can they just do that? What about all the kids who love the Steel Samurai? It's okay. I'm sure the kids will be fine. They'll find a new hero to follow. No, that can't be true. If the program just ends, they'll be heartbroken for sure. Nick, say something. Yeah. I think evidence rather than words is called for here. Here, take a look at this. What am I meant to be sure? What's this? This is why you can't stop the Steel Samurai. I'm sorry, I don't understand. Neither do I. Oh, right! I need to show her why kids care. I don't know what. I don't have a clue what it was trying to get me to do, so I need to show her this. Yeah. And this is... A fan collected all of these photographs. The kids love the Steel Samurai. The show shouldn't be cancelled just so some adults can save face. I would think you'd understand that better than anyone. You're right. Okay, but what can I do? Well, for starters, you can tell me something. Tell me what it is that Global Studios are so intent on hiding. Tell me about this accident 5 years ago. Okay. Could you tell us what happened 5 years ago? Well, I can tell you what I've heard. Apparently, 5 years ago, someone died, and it was Hammer's fault. Someone died? It was an accident, of course. Anyway, the producer, Miss Vasquez, managed to hush it up. And that's the dirt she had on Mr. Hammer. Oh, that was a question. And that's the dirt she had on Mr. Hammer? And that's why Mr. Hammer would do anything Miss Vasquez asked him to do. But it was an accident, right? Why didn't they just make it public? Well, you know Mr. Hammer was a big star back then. They were afraid about what would happen to his career if word got out. I see. You know who knows more about this? Miss Old Bag. She was here at the studios back then, you know. Thanks. We'll try asking her. If she'll talk. Let's see if she has anything to say about this. What's that? An empty bottle of sleeping pills. With Mr. Hammer's fingerprints on it. Now I'm really confused. I'm not sure what to make of that. There. Okay. Back to the gate. What, you're still slinking around? If you like the place so much, why don't you take over for me? The old windbag doesn't look so good. Everybody's doing their darndest to forget Hammer. Who do they think made Global Studios what it is today? Hammer! It's all due to Hammer. She's starting to froth at the mouth, Nick. Maybe we should keep a safe distance. I wanted to ask you about 5 years ago. Oh dear. Who told? Who did you hear that from? Huh? Nichols. Nichols? Nichols, Nick. Penny Nichols. That assistant we talked to. Oh, right. Anyway, we heard about the accident. It was during filming with Jack Hammer. He killed a man, didn't he? Whippersnappers! Dredging up dirt on someone's past like that. And the recently departed, no less. I suppose you think this is fun. No, I'm just trying to do my job to protect Mr. Powers. And you claim that Hammer stole Powers' costume. You expect me to believe that rubbish? Or do you have some kind of proof? Proof that Hammer stole Powers' costume? Do I have proof of that? Oh god, I've got like 4 new icons on my screen since that update. Jesus Christ. Fuck's sake. I don't know, do I? I don't know if I do. Oh wait, the sleeping pills. Yeah, okay. I think it counts. I'm sorry, Miss Oldbag, but I do have proof. I can prove that Mr. Hammer stole Mr. Powers' costume. Here's my proof. What? What's a little empty bottle supposed to prove? It's a bottle of sleeping pills, with Mr. Hammer's fingerprints on it. What does that prove? I'm sure old Hammer had some sleepless nights. Where's your proof that he used those pills on Powers? Ah, nice. Because I was going to say, like, how do I prove this without both bits of evidence? Mr. Powers ate a T-bone steak for lunch, correct? Well, yes, so? This is the plate that he used to eat that steak. There are traces of sleeping pill powder on the plate. Oh dear, she's going to explode. I see. Poor Hammer. You did wrong, Hammer. Rest your soul. Yes, Miss Oldbag. Okay, you win. I'll talk. I'm tired, see? Tired of holding it all in. Miss Oldbag. You're right. 5 years ago there was an accident. A fatal accident. What's worse, a paparazzi took a photo of it. That photo, well, it caused quite a stir. And guess who made it all better? Vasquez. She has ties to the Mafia. Of course she does. She silenced that paparazzi. That was the beginning. After that, she became a force to be reckoned with here at the studio. I see. But, you have to understand, poor old Hammer never meant any harm to anyone. Miss Old Bag. Hold on a minute. Poor Miss Old Bag. Here, take this. A photograph? Wait a second. This is the picture. Is this the trailer in Studio 2? Hammer was supposed to fight with a bad guy on the top of those stairs there. He pushed the other actor, and the man fell on the firebox fence. I fucking knew that that fence was going to come in at some point, because it looked like the fence out of Repo that Mag dies on. And like, as soon as I saw it, all I could picture was Mag. Come take my eyes, I would rather be blind. And then... But how did you get this? It was a long time ago. I don't feel much like talking about it. I understand. 5-year-old photo added to the court record. Nice. I want to look at it. Shows an accident involving Jack Hammer. I mean, that is full on Mag's fault right there. Or that horrible whip from The Witcher if you don't manage to get Kira to go back to Kaer Morhen. Okay, well, I think we're done with her. October 19th, Studio 1 entrance. Think back, Nick, to the day of the murder. Mr. Hammer put on the Steel Samurai costume. Then he left from here to go to Studio 2? Right. But why? I wonder if someone called him, like the director or the producer. I mean, that is true. We haven't really established why he was going around there wearing the Steel Samurai costume. Hey Nick, it's Miss Vasquez. Hello? Hello? Maya, you should at least try to be polite. I'm watching the clouds. That's all she had to say, apparently. Mr. Hammer. Excuse me. Mr. Hammer came here on the day of the murder, and... Shh. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I'm watching the clouds. I'm not interested in talking to you. Do something, Nick. She's really ticking me off. Oh dear. Mr. Powers wasn't the killer. You don't have to cancel the Steel Samurai. I think I'm tired of the Steel Samurai. You did it. Nick, she did it. She's the killer. My blood speaks to me. I know it. I know it. Oh dear. I was wondering if you could tell me about Mr. Manella. If you must talk about that man, perhaps you could talk about it in the trailer? By yourselves? Oh. Oh dear. Well, that went well. What happens if I show her stuff? Actually, what happens if I show her the photo? She's not even looking. Where? What? Where did you get that? Well... Old Bag. Old... She means the security lady, Miss Old Bag, Nick. Right, anyway. Miss Vasquez, you hid this incident from the press, didn't you? And you used it to control Mr. Hammer. The wind. Huh? It's gotten stronger, don't you think? The wind. Your conversation interests me. Let's talk about it more inside the trailer. Nick, she went inside the trailer. What happens if I examine this fence again? There's some flowers here. Wow, so pretty. They're taking good care of these. Don't get too close, that fence looks dangerous. Okay, I kind of thought they would update that and say something, but never mind. It's getting dark again. I need to make sure I don't disappear again. It's only 4:30 and I'm already starting to, like, disappear on camera. Humph, you came. Well then, what was that you were talking about? Why is she so eager to talk all of a sudden? Miss Vasquez, you were using that accident. You were blackmailing Mr. Hammer so you could control him, weren't you? That's why he was doing kids shows for petty change. So I'm a blackmailer now? Well, that's what it was, wasn't it? I mean, sure, it was an accident, but you used it to drag Mr. Hammer down from his rightful place as a star. Oh. I haven't pulled anyone down from anywhere. Mr. Hammer's career went sour of its own accord. But you were the cause! You pressured him! And to think it was just an accident! Excuse me? What is this all about? You keep saying accident, accident. How are you so sure? What do you mean? Must I spell everything out for you? Think, what would it be if it wasn't an accident? No. No way. You mean Mr. Hammer did it on purpose? That is what I mean. Where's your proof? Can you prove it? Just think. Would he have let me run his life for 5 years over a mere accident? And I ran him hard, believe you me. But the security lady said it was an accident. Oh, well, she was a big fan of Hammer's, you see. She jumped on the reporter who brought that photo into the studio. She wrenched it out of his hand, she did. Gave him a few bruises, too. So that's why she had the photo. She's an old fool. Of course, all the reporter would need is the negatives. He could have made a copy. But he didn't. The only copy of that photo is the one you're holding. Give it to me. Now. What? This is valuable evidence. Boys! Oh dear, she's got in the mafia. Who are they? Professionals. They're good at erasing various things. What do you think? Would you like to be erased? What? The trial ends tomorrow. How unfortunate. It's a shame you'll have to miss it. Tell me why. Why do you want this photograph so badly? This is Mr. Hammer's dirt, no? Why should D. Vasquez care about it at all? I'm sure you'll have plenty of time to think about that where you're going. So long, friends. Boys, erase away. No! Did I get them killed? Oh yeah! Hold it right there! I heard everything, pal. T. Vasquez! You're coming down to the precinct with me now! Not bad. Very well. It appears this contest will be decided tomorrow then, in court. I'll be looking forward to it. Hey, you okay, pal? Sorry I was a little late with my entrance. I don't get many chances to practice that sort of thing. Detective Gumshoe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I was really scared. Huh? Don't mention it, pal. Just doing my job. Detective Gumshoe? Sorry, it's just... I've wanted to say that line ever since I became a detective. Okay, I've got one more job to do today. I'm sure we'll run into each other again soon. Well, Nick, it looks like we're getting close to the bottom of this. And who's at the bottom? D. Vasquez? To be continued. Ooh, that was quite short. That's good, so that gives me a chance to go and put my light on quickly. Okay, hang fire until I put a light on before I disappear into the abyss again. Okay, cool. Alright, file. Save. Okay. October 20th, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 4. Time for another trial. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honour. The defence is ready, Your Honour. Today will be the final day of this trial. I hope both the prosecution and the defence will be able to present decisive evidence. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement. In yesterday's session, the defence presented us with a new theory for this case. He claims that the scene of the crime was in fact Studio 2. Today, I will call on people present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. From their testimonies, the truth will become clear. Very well. Edgeworth seems a bit on edge today. On Edgeworth? You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls Miss D. Vasquez to the stand. Miss D. Vasquez is a producer who was present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. That she was. Oh, look her. Will the witness state her name and occupation? D. Vasquez. I am a producer for Global Studios. On the day of the murder, you were in the trailer in Studio 2. As everyone here knows, yes? I dislike needless banter. If you must pontificate, do it when I'm not here. Very well, Miss Vasquez. Please give the court your testimony concerning the day of the murder. Nick, I know she did it. Make her pay. Right. She's guilty. I'll catch her with her pants down, so to speak. The day of the murder. I entered the trailer, a little before noon. The meeting began at 12 sharp. It ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. At 2:30 we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. We found Hammer's body later, when we all went to Studio 1. That's all. None of that makes sense! I have a question about one part of your testimony. Yeah, you probably should. Sorry, I'm trying to get my feet under this blanket. My heating comes on in 20 minutes, but I'm so cold. You were fatigued, so you had Sal take you? The van. There's a van at Studio 2. There is a van at Studio 2, yeah. I had him take me in that. I thought it might be risky to walk, what with that monkey said toppling over. But then how did they get there? The whole point is that the path was blocked by the monkey head, so how the hell was she getting there in the van? It would have been easier to walk. I see. Very well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. This is the final battle, Nick. Let's do it. I entered the trailer, a little before noon. Let's press her and stuff. By yourself? Yes. And you didn't stop in the employee area? No. Are you always this terse? Yes. Oh dear. The meeting began at 12 sharp. It ended at 4. Did no one leave during the meeting? No one. Come on, let's talk a bit more about that. The witness did not come here to engage in idle conversation. Stop interrupting the testimony. The same could be said to you, Mr. Edgeworth. And please stop banging on your little desk. It hurts my ears. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I am confused by this. And yeah, when did you go to Studio 1? When exactly was that? I've forgotten. Maybe you could try remembering? No. The meeting ended at 4, and the rehearsal was scheduled for 5. I would think it was between those times. You would think? Come on, all you did was state the obvious, Edgeworth. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. She already answered that. At 2:30 we took a 50-minute break in the meeting. And what were you doing during that time? Eating a T-bone steak? Don't hit your desk. It irritates me. Yeah, Mr. Wright. Oops. It was a 50-minute break. Sal and I T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. Do you have someone who can verify this? Sal? No, I mean someone else. One person is enough. If she committed murder during that break, she wouldn't have had time to eat a T-bone steak. I found some evidence that proved she didn't eat that steak. Well, Nick? Find anything? I kind of wish she'd said a little more. It's hard. I think she's pretty used to being the boss. But I'm sure you'll find some kind of contradiction in what she said. Somewhere. Oops. What did I just click? Oh, get out of the way. By yourself? Yes. And you didn't stop. Oh, we already had this conversation. Are you always this terrorist? Yes. Okay, she already said that. Is that it? Is that all we have? Okay, what have I got evidence-wise? Okay, I might be able to use the monkey head thing, surely. The witness's statement is clearly faulty, Your Honor. I'm sorry, but I can see nothing faulty. Unfortunately, I will have to penalise you, Mr. Wright. How? How? They can't go to Studio 1 because the monkey head was in the road. I'm confused. I don't see how I can't use the monkey thing. Wait, van will be added to the court record? Did they add the van to the court record? Oh, they did add the van to the court record. Okay, fair enough. Present the steak plate. And this one? Ha! As I thought. You claim you ate a T-bone steak. But I say you did not. What's this now, Mr. Wright? Look at this. It's a plate. This plate was on the table in the employee room. As you can see, a large bone has been left behind. Mr. Wright, need I remind you it was a T-bone steak? Exactly my point. Remember, if you will, Miss Vasquez and Miss Manella ate at a table outside the trailer. Yet, there were no bones left on the plates. These plates were bare. Miss Vasquez? What does this have to do with the murder? How can a person eat a T-bone steak and not leave the bone? I think I know how. You ate the bone too! You ate a boneless steak. Well, obviously she didn't eat the steak. It's clearly not you ate the bone. You didn't eat any steak during that break. I mean, we all said that 15 minutes was too quick to eat a steak. But like... I don't see how that proves guilt or innocence in any way. I mean, I don't know why they're lying about it. I don't know why everyone's so obsessed with these fucking steaks, but I don't really know how that's helping our case at all. You took your steak and threw it in somewhere like that incinerator. I see. Then what was Miss Vasquez doing during her break? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? Meeting the Steel Samurai? I'm sure she was picking on Salmonella, but I would imagine she was meeting the Steel Samurai and that's why she called him over. She was meeting with the Steel Samurai. I'm so yawny all of a sudden. Oda, are you saying... Yes, Your Honor. As Miss Vasquez left that trailer to eat her steak, she ran into the Steel Samurai, and then you did it. You killed him with your own hands. This is a very quick trial if it's true. Mr. Wright, isn't that a little presumptuous? What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, right? Let him claim what he wants. You say I did it? Yes. Fascinating. And here I was worrying that today would be boring as all the rest. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I. Any day, Vasquez. Good luck, Nick. I'm so tired. I'm sorry. Let's see. What was that murder weapon again? Oh yes, the samurai spear. Yes? I am, as you can see, a woman of petite stature. How could I possibly use that heavy spear as a weapon? I feel like it must be you couldn't, could you? Because I feel like if I go, I think you could, she would feel like, no I can't. Oh my goodness, this is so annoying. I think you'd have a great deal of difficulty using that as a weapon. Pretty much anyone would. Huh. You see? Yes. However, that has no bearing on this case. Meaning, the samurai spear was not the murder weapon. What? Okay, I don't know where this is going at all. What is the meaning of this? The spear was found lying next to the victim's body. I have proof, Your Honor. I can prove that the samurai spear was not used as the murder weapon. Can I? Okay. Either it's the spear, because it's broken, although I feel like they would have noticed that by now, or it's the photograph, because he's trying to claim that she used the fence as a weapon. A good try. Submitting the spear. Because I do think you can't use it as a murder weapon when it's duct taped together, but if it's not that, then I'll try the photograph. I present my proof. The so-called murder weapon. But that is the murder weapon. Not so fast. Remember that this spear broke during the morning action scene run-through. But someone fixed the spear. It was the security lady. She fixed it with duct tape. Now tell me, how is it possible for someone to stab a man who is wearing a thick costume with this through the chest? Oda. Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? Think about what you're... Silence. I'm the one testifying here, and I will be heard. Are you quite sane? Are you even aware of what you're saying? If the samurai spear was not the murder weapon, then pray tell what was? How was Hammer killed? Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us what weapon was used to kill Mr. Hammer? I'm gonna say it was the fence. Would I make a claim like that if I couldn't tell you what the weapon was? I'm afraid your confidence can sometimes be unfounded, Mr. Wright. Very well, let's see this murder weapon then. I'm gonna submit. Or maybe she hit him with a van. I would love if that was it. Use the van. He's like, to put it to you, my lord. That Dee Vasquez drove the fuck over Jack Hammer with the van. Look at this photo. What is this? Why, that's Jack Hammer standing at the top of the stairs. Order! Order! If I cannot have order, this trial will be suspended. Mr. Wright, what is this all about? This photograph is from 5 years ago. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. This is a photo of that very accident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was a close-kept secret at the studios. What does this have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgeworth, you still can't see it? See the fallen man in this photo? See how the fence post pierced him through the chest? What? Are you saying? Yes. What happened 5 years ago? Has happened again. Mr. Wright, continue. It's 2:30 PM on the day of the murder. Miss Dee Vasquez meets Jack Hammer outside the Studio 2 trailer. Then she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the top of the stairs onto the fence. And just like Mr. Hammer had done had himself done 5 years ago. Though whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say. In other words, the victim, Mr. Hammer, he died in the same way that he caused another man to die? 5 years ago? Precisely. Ironic, isn't it? Don't you think? Ho ho! Very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a man like you on my script writing stuff. You deny that what I say is true. Mr. Wright, let's see. For the sake of argument, the Hammer died at the trailer, as you say. Yet, the body was found at Studio 1, was it not? And in the evil magistrate's costume, no less. Are you sure then claiming that I carried the body to Studio 1 and then returned to the trailer in the space of a 15-minute break? How could I have disposed of the body? The break in the meeting at the trial lasted 15 minutes, from 2:30 to 2:45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death, then carried to Studio 1 and placed inside his costume? There wasn't enough time. Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, how could she have dealt with the body? She does have a group of 4 mafiosos who follow her around. I'm sure they can move a body. So I'm going to say she had another way. What if she had another way to carry the body, other than with her own hands? For instance, actually, for that matter, there was no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry the body. Interesting. Let's hear it then. Mr. Wright, please show us how she carried the body. Well, she could have used the van to carry the body. I don't know how she would have got it in the van. With the mafiosos and Salmonella, maybe. I'm going to say it's the van. Miss Vasquez. You carried the body to Studio 1. And you used the studio van to do it. I still think that she ran over Jack with the van. Recall your testimony. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. There was a van there, right? I had Sal drive me. You used the van to carry the body to Studio 1. Then, before everyone else got there, you put the box into the magistrate's body, even into the magistrate's costume. Hold on, Wright. Don't forget, it was Salmonella that drove the van. Are you suggesting that Mr. Manella was a conspirator? I mean, I kind of feel like he is, but I don't really have anything to back that up. Like, I'm gonna say that he was, but like I say, I don't have anything to back that up. I just want to blame him because I don't like him. Of course Salmonella has to have been a conspirator. The body had to be placed in the van and put in the costume. I think there's no way Miss Vasquez could have done that alone. Also, don't forget that they had to dispose of the Steel Samurai costume. They had to. Because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. They probably burned it in that small incinerator. Well, Miss Vasquez? Shall I continue? No need. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. I lose. You win. It was fun. I win? It's quiet in here. So, what happens next? Don't question mark me. Don't you have anything to say? Giant plane going overhead. What would you like me to say? Huh? I lost something like that? I just said that. Wait, so you mean D. Vasquez, so it was you? You killed Jack Hammer. Awkward pause. Well, did you or did you not? Who can say? Huh? Are you sure I did? Mr. Wright, we just engaged in a battle of wits. And the result of that battle, you proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer. Right. But that is only a possibility. Proof is another thing altogether. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Wright. What? 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 Oda, Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Oh, of course. It says the witness says. Certainly, it does seem very likely she did it, but, there's no proof. Edward isn't sure. Well, I came here as a witness today. I'll have no more questions. I'll be leaving. Ugh, what do I do now? I genuinely let them off with it. I don't know how to say testify again. I kinda do. I think I'll do that. I'd like you to testify again. Testify again? No one to give up, Mr. Wright? Think about it. Even if I were to testify again, what's the point? I can only say what I said before. The truth, Mr. Wright. I've already said all the things there is to say. What would happen if I said it again? You'd ask the same questions. A waste of time. Damn. Damn. To come so far, only to fail. As it seems there are no further questions, I would like to end the cross-examination of the witness, Miss Vasquez. Edgeworth? Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting, Your Honor. I didn't. Miles, that's incredibly useful. I see, very well. Edgeworth. I request that the witness testify again. What the fuck? You're the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you badgering me? I'm your witness. I just want to hear your testimony again. Does this make any sense to you, Your Honor? I don't see that we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes. Mr. Edgeworth, I too see little point in making Miss Vasquez repeat herself. What exactly did you want to hear her testify about? Well, yes, indeed. Verily, I say, ergo. I want to hear what happened after they found the body. After they found the body? Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter. I'm so sleepy. Give me a pause for a second so I try and wake myself up. Oh dear. Okay. Why did Edgeworth... Who knows? He probably realised she did it too. But...
Hello, it is I am back again. Okay, so when we left off in the video, Miles Edgeworth had just interjected and said that he wanted Dee Vasquez, the witness, to re-testify, and everyone in the room is like, what is going on? Because Miles is the prosecution, so they're like, why does Edgeworth want his own witness, his own prosecution witness, to re-testify? And it becomes obvious that at this point, even Miles thinks that Dee Vasquez is the murderer. And I guess what we learn here is that, like, Miles must have some kind of a conscience because he wants the real murderer to go down for murder, and he's pretty sure at this point that it's Dee Vasquez, and to be honest, I think he's just sick of her attitude. So even though he knows he's putting his own witness in the stand for murder, he decides he wants to fight to get her put down for murder. So, what he says is he wants her to talk about what happened when they found the body. So, like, you can see one of my grey hairs there, by the way. I don't know if you can see it, just like there. One of my big, long grey hairs. I'm 26 and I'm already going grey. How incredibly sad. Anyway, so, Dee Vasquez says that they all went to the studio and they found the body, and then she had to go back to Studio 2 to get her script notes. And Miles, Phoenix is like, why didn't you have your script notes with you? And she's like, oh, well, because we weren't going to be filming. And he's like, why? And she says, oh, because there was a murder, so obviously we couldn't film because there was a murder. And obviously Phoenix is like, objection! You didn't know there was a murder until you got to Studio 1 and found the body. At which point you should have already had your script notes because you thought you were going to be filming when you got there. And she's like, oh yeah, duh, of course. Silly me. No, the reason I didn't bring my script notes is because I knew we couldn't film because Jack had injured his leg at the run-through. And I'm like, she's got a point there. So I'm sitting going through for ages, going round and round. Maya's like, there has to be something that contradicts her in there. And I'm sitting going round and round and round. Cannot, like, figure out what it is. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Jack didn't have an injury. Will Powers had an injury. Jack Hammer was only pretending to have an injury because he was impersonating Will, the Steel Samurai. So I'm like, shut the fuck up, Dee Vasquez, you don't have a clue. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, oh shit, we've got her over a barrel. She thinks that Jack has a leg injury because she saw the Steel Samurai dragging his leg, which means that she must have known that it was Jack Hammer in the Steel Samurai costume, which means that she knows something. She knows something. She knew that that wasn't Will Powers. So she must have had something to do with it. So of course we bring this evidence up to her and she comes out with, oh, well, it must have been Salmonella that had told me the wrong name. He told me it was Jack Hammer. And I'm like, damn, there's nothing really we can do with that. So obviously we go on a while, keep pressing her on stuff. showing her stuff. Miles is joining in. And eventually what transpires, as we find out, is that... Now let me get this right. So as we know, there was an accident. We learned during the investigation that there was an accident years ago on the set on Studio 2 where Jack Hammer was filming a scene and he killed a guy. And she has been holding that over him for years. Dee Vasquez has been blackmailing him with the evidence of that death for years and using him as her like personal lackey, making him do stuff for her. So Phoenix brings this all up and he's like, you know, she's been using him as her personal lackey, she's been blackmailing him, forcing him to do stuff for her. That is why we think she had something, why we think that this is all links back to her. And the judge is like, I get what you're saying, but that makes it sound like Jack Hammer would have a motive to kill her. He's the one being blackmailed. It doesn't sound like that gives Dee Vasquez a motive at all. And Dee Vasquez herself is like, why would I kill my own lackey? Like, I was blackmailing him, I was using him for my own ends. If I killed him, I'm just giving away my own, like, slave, basically. Like, I use this guy for my own ends. If I kill him, I'm giving up something that's actually useful to me. Like, that would be detrimental to me. That doesn't make any sense. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know, the girl has a point. Dee Vasquez does have a bit of a point there about that one. So at that point, we're told to try and, the judge is like, so what is the motive? You know, you've given us this idea about Jack Hammer and the blackmail, but what are you actually saying is Dee Vasquez's motive? And the options are either show evidence or she has no motive. Now I'm thinking to myself, and I started going off in this like, just random tangent about serial killers where I'm like, there are plenty of murderers out there who don't have a motive. And I'm like, I'm all for the idea that a killer has to have means, motive, and opportunity. But sometimes the motive really is just that someone's a bad human being. Like, there's been loads of people, you know, like serial killers in particular, whose just motive is that they like to kill people. Sometimes there's not even like a specific kind of person they go for. They just like murdering people and just go for whoever they want. Sometimes people are just shitty people. So I'm like, it is entirely possible that her motive is just that she's a bad person. But the fact that it is someone that she knows, the fact that it's a guy that she's been using for her own ends for all these years does kind of call that into question, because what she said makes complete sense. Why would she kill off someone that she was using when that means that she's losing, like, someone that's actually really useful to her? And she seems like the kind of calculated bitch that wouldn't do that. Like, that just doesn't seem like it would fit in with her, like, general person. So I go for she has no motive, because I'm like, regardless, the point is I don't have any evidence here for a motive. I don't have anything. I genuinely don't know where this is going. So I click she has no motive, and he's like, the reason that we don't have a motive is because she has no motive. And the judge is like, Phoenix, the fuck are you talking about now? And Edgeworth is like, and everybody in the room is just like, what? So it turns out, what he manages to prove is like, she has no motive because she didn't kill him through choice. It was self-defense. And I'm like, what now? So, as it turns out, what happened is Jack Hammer got the sleeping pills, drugged Will Powers, stole his suit, dragged his foot to Studio 2 because he had had enough of Dee Vasquez's bullshit and decided that he was going to murder her. In front of the director and all of the bigwigs from the network, which I find slightly odd. Probably would have been better to get her in the car park after work or something, but no, he decided to kill her in the middle of the day in front of all the other staff, but that's fine. He tries to kill her, so he, like, comes up behind her with, I don't know, fucking the samurai spear or whatever. I don't know what he has, actually, as a weapon, and tries to kill her, and she basically fights back because he's trying to kill her and pushes him, and he, like, falls down the stairs and dies. I think is what happened, or he falls off and lands on the fence and dies. You know, he died. So he's like, the reason that she didn't have a motive is because she wasn't intending to kill him, but he attacked her and tried to kill her, so she killed him she fought back in self-defense and he died. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, cool twist. However, what I'm now very confused about is if she didn't mean to kill him, if this was self-defense and she has salmonella and all the bigwigs from the network as witnesses, why did they even try to cover this up as a murder in the first place? Because she hadn't murdered him. There was no murder. If you kill someone in self-defense, if someone tries to kill you and you fight back and they die, you will not get done for murder because it's in self-defense. It's hard to prove if it happened to you in the middle of the night in a park, but when it happened to you at work in front of witnesses in the middle of the film studio, then I think you could probably like, when the police show up, you're like, this is a dead guy, he attacked me, and I shoved him, and he died, and all these people were around to see it, and they were all like, yeah, that's what happened. It might still take a bit of investigating to make sure that everyone's stories line up and whatever, but ultimately you didn't murder anyone, and actually they've made it far more complicated by trying to pin it all on Will Powers, when in reality there was no murder to investigate. It was a guy who attacked her and she shoved him and he died. So I was like, this whole case is kind of been pointless, and like I really enjoyed it because it was a really interesting story and really not knowing where it was going, and that was definitely an interesting twist at the end because I definitely didn't see that one coming. But it did kind of feel like at the end I was like, why did we actually bother with this? Like, why did any of this happen? They had no reason to try and cover this up and pin it on Will Powers. They could have just said it was self-defense. There was no need for this entire case. There was no need for it. So that's what you missed. That's where it ended. And we also get to see a bit more of Miles and Phoenix interacting. Phoenix basically kind of reveals that a long time ago they used to be friends, but they haven't thought of each other lately at all. And then Miles is like, I hope I never see you again, Phoenix, and then walks off dramatically. And Phoenix is like, fair. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I'm imagining you're going to see him pretty soon, because apparently this town only has one defense lawyer and one prosecution lawyer, so I imagine you're going to see each other again soon. And that's where it ended. So that's what you missed. I really apologise that this is the way I've had to explain it to you, but hopefully that will fill in the blanks, and with any luck, the next video will not be a corrupted mess, and I might actually be able to get it uploaded in one piece, because this is really fucking annoying, I'm not gonna lie. But thank you for watching, thank you for sticking with my series, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye everyone.